You have to be
Stop
fucking
it, stop it.
kidding. No, keep it going. That's fine.
Welcome to another episode of
Fantasy Sports Teams Go!
Do.
Shout out to Andy Laws, who was just trying to call me. That's so fucking funny. We got Playoff Edition podcast this week,
Playoff edition.
where not a whole lot makes fucking sense why I made it in, but there's a lot of crazy rules and tiebreakers.
Yeah, a lot of crazy tiebreakers. We went through it all. We won't
won't
ruin the show by explaining it. It went into a lot of detail.
It took us way too long to figure it out.
I guess it makes sense in the end, I guess. Everything except for the seating between Vaughn and John, we still don't get that, but
everything else
makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, it does. So, we'll get into it. We'll just go to first matchup here, which is me against Zach, a rematch from earlier in the regular season where he beat me.
And Zach's not looking pretty.
What's that? Oh, with Stafford?
Yeah, Stafford, I don't know if
Having that
wonder if he'll
hand
be able
injury.
to play, how well he'll play if he does play.
Probably gets
I mean,
bad.
the team's been shit regardless. Like, I can't imagine him playing.
Yeah, I mean,
good
he's still
anyways.
statistically been putting up a couple touchdowns a game, so like fantasy-wise, hasn't been that bad, even with how bad the Lions have played, but still.
How many points did he put up last week? against
13.
Baltimore? That's it?
13.88.
Yeah. And that was with 20 straight completions at one point, too.
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
That was really weird.
I missed the game. That sounds super weird.
It was weird. I missed a little bit of it, but I mean, it kind of went the way that
you got
thought.
it.
I mean, I called that blowout.
You guys were
So
right, for sure.
I kind of just saw that coming. I don't really see it in this Tampa matchup, but
I think it depends if Jake Rudolph's going to play or not. You know.
yeah, that kind of comes down to the quarterback play. Like if Stafford plays, then I don't think it'll be a blowout this week.
Chances of Rudolph
I think
coming
they'll lose.
I think we're going to lose too. Chances of Rudolph coming in and throwing 2+ touchdowns.
Oh, there's no possibility of that happening.
No, it's not very good, no.
It's not going to happen. Derek Carr, meanwhile, at Kansas City, they've been horrible.
That's going to be...
They do have,
And Marcus Peters got suspended.
which means
So
that
that's
they
good.
only have the worst cornerbacks in the history of the NFL to play. They no longer have Marcus Peters, who's been okay. They have literally just the worst cornerbacks in the history.
Their defense has been god-awful. Dude, they gave up over 30 points to the New York Jets last week.
Jermaine Kearse and Robbie Anderson both had over 100 yards receiving.
Yeah,
You picked them up too, asshole. I wanted to...
who's that, Jermaine Kearse?
Yeah,
I was
Kearse.
thinking about picking him up, but I went for Doxson instead.
Yeah.
Because he's been a touchdown machine. So I'm looking forward to Oakland. Hopefully your guy does some good too. Oh,
Yeah.
you got an Oakland receiver as well?
I do.
I don't know if mine will be back. He's still possibly injured, so
I
we'll
just-
see how that
I
goes.
just hope they feed
if he plays, I'll probably have to play him because I mean the last time they faced Kansas City was the week he went for 42. So
But you're not playing against me this time, so it probably won't happen.
yeah,
And it's not on Thursday.
Yeah.
So, running backs. I got Theo Riddick in right now just because of the matchup. If Abdullah is still out, because Theo did actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Fair
I looked at the
touchdown.
numbers. Are you worried about Tion Green, though?
I'm not worried about Tion Green at all.
I think John Green's the short yardage back. He'll get the goal line carries if we get there.
He will, but I mean, Theo Riddick had a short yardage touchdown as well, and he was getting all those catches. I think he had like 5 of them or something. So I'm not worried about that, but something that should worry Lions fans like Kyle Bellavender out there is my latest addition to my running back group. That's Peyton Barber. He's going to tear it up on the ground.
Yeah, I mean he went for what over 100 against.
He had over
Green
100
Bay.
against Green Bay. Yep.
So what it's going to do against the Lions rushing defense, who's probably the worst in the NFL right now.
It is
But-
the NFL right now.
Are you worried? Because I did see Doug Martin return to practice today.
I'm not worried. Doug Martin sucks.
He does suck.
He's been horrible this season. I'm not worried.
He had the one good game coming back from his injury, like on that primetime game where he was facing me and when Ross played him. You know, that was fun. But other than that, it was all right.
Looking on the opposite side,
Yeah. DeMarco?
maybe.
I mean, I don't know, dude.
I mean, I might see him getting a touchdown.
Tennessee's been very underwhelming.
Arizona at home is like oddly really good. It's really strange.
They're a good
how-
rush defense for sure. Like, like they limit yardage pretty well. Like they'll give up some touchdowns, I guess. I can see Murray maybe getting a touchdown, but I don't think he'll have the greatest yardage game.
And Powell is part of like 3 running backs right now that can all get goal line carries, and I would hate to have any running back in that situation.
I mean, I think I would trust Forte probably the most.
Forte's been the consistent touchdown producer, especially over the past month.
In the games he's played, he's got a decent amount of catches too. So
Forte?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Powell had a touchdown last week, but before that, his last touchdown came in week 4. So I'm not too worried about Powell, but it is Denver, and Denver's defense has been oddly really bad this year.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Anything could happen.
Denver's imploding, dude. It's
been a bad year.
It's
been a really bad year. They just got to get a consistent quarterback play.
They need to draft a quarterback.
They just need a quarterback. They're like Michigan right now. They
Eli
got
Manning?
a good quarterback. Maybe
They need to draft one.
go out and get the other Manning. Get another Super
Bowl. But if we're looking at comparison, I would say it leans more in your favor, even though it's kind of like not a lot to look at. I think
it's not sexy.
It's definitely not sexy at all, like
No.
any of these running backs. But I do think
Not at all.
you have the higher upside.
And if anything happens between those two, I can always plug Jordan Howard in there and make it a little more appealing.
Yeah, true. I mean, if Barber is the go-to guy there, he might have the biggest week of any running back this week. So
That would be dope. I would appreciate that. Receivers. God damn it, Andy. Should I answer it?
Here, you special guest.
All right, I'll answer it. Hello, is this Andy?
What they do?
Not. Oh, you are a special guest on the Fantasy Sports Teams Go podcast featuring me, Brian, and Ryan. What is your name? Andy, correct?
Jake Paul, man.
Oh, it's everyday, bro.
Jake Paul,
Team
Team 10.
10. All right. Do you have any fantasy options for me at running back this week?
Oh, yeah. Are you getting ready for this shit? Because you're going to have to write it down, man.
All right. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Number 1 pick for running back this week overall is going to be. I'll pull my team up. One sec. Still have my team. There we go.
Do you not know who's on your goddamn team, Andy?
Yeah. So we're doing Isaiah Crowell.
I see. Pro Bowl.
Number 1 overall pick.
All right. Who's number 2? All right. Any other suggestions before I let you go?
Yeah. We are going to be doing Devontae Parker. We got Devontae Parker. You're also a bitch.
All right. Well, I'll take that into consideration when I get ready to get my lineup set.
All right. Yeah. There you go. Are you sharing podcast right now?
Yeah, we're recording right now.
Did you get my text message?
No, I'll look at it in a minute though, like when we're done.
Oh, it's not actually for me. She'll be surprised, you guys.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
you won't.
Okay.
You're a fucker now.
All right, I will look at it in a little bit, buddy. I'll call you back later.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.
Well, thank you to
Well,
Andy for pointing out the guys that either are on my bench or were dropped by me
recently. Yeah, you dropped Devontae
as
Parker.
the people that I won't be playing this week.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna pick up Isaiah Crowell.
All right, let's look at.
That's not happening.
I got
Anyways,
Crowell.
yeah,
Been on my bench for a while.
yeah.
Let's look at these receivers.
Wide receivers. I mean, we got the same squad that I've had really all year.
Yeah.
Evans, Landry, Tyreek, and Shepard at my flex.
All 3 of those are probably better than Zach's number 1 option this week.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what
We'll
the
see.
Lions receivers can do if Stafford doesn't play.
Well, and we'll see if Robert Woods even suits up this week. But
Sure.
I don't think he is. I think they said realistically it would be the following week that he would come back.
If he does play, I mean, you got to play him because he was doing so well. But
Yeah.
I doubt it. He's probably gonna have to go with Ted Ginn again, who hasn't been bad, but
He didn't have a
honestly,
very good week last week.
honestly, that's a tough call for Zach because he's gonna have to make that call on Thursday.
Yeah,
Ted Ginn plays
because
Thursday.
yeah,
so
yep.
if he leaves
Saints
him on
play.
if he leaves him on the bench, it's gonna be a really rough time going with someone like Eric Decker, who's been pretty fucking awful. all
Yeah, you'd
year.
have to play Eric Decker or put Demarius in that other spot and then have someone else
And
in
a
his
running
flex.
back.
Yeah.
Also been
C.J.
bad.
Anderson. Yeah. I mean,
He's just hurting. Zach
the
Garrett.
depth is hurting
I think
for sure.
Zach's, I don't know, Zach's team kind of like peaked in the middle of the season, and then I don't know, it's been on a steady decline. It seems like the last few weeks.
I'd say the only consistent player he's had has been Marvin Jones. He's been really good.
Yeah.
Like even last week when the Lions blew up, even Marvin Jones, how many points did he have? He had 13 points. He had 4 catches for 90 yards. So even that's pretty good. So he's been like that one consistent guy. But if Stafford doesn't play again, I don't see that going very well. And he's got 2 Lions receivers. So
Yeah, on the other side, Landry always gets tons of catches, especially when his team is losing by a bunch. So New England.
I love Jarvis
It's a
Landry.
good matchup. Hill against Oakland's defense is probably good for a couple deep ball touchdowns, honestly. Like, Oakland's defense is really bad as well. And Mike Evans has a bit of a tough matchup, but we'll see how he does with a whole team that's been pretty poor. Like, in general, Slade's a good corner, but the team's been so bad lately, it might not matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then tight end, Ingram versus Thomas.
I think Ingram is a good start.
Against Dallas.
Yeah,
Eli's coming back.
Yeah, Ingram is going to be up there with good value, but Julius Thomas for some reason has been oddly somewhat consistent this year, and I don't know why.
Has he been good with Cutler or without Cutler?
With Cutler,
Has he? What did he do last week?
I mean,
Oh,
he
had a
got
touchdown last week.
3 catches for 20 yards and a
Yeah.
touchdown. Like, they look for
He's
him.
very touchdown dependent.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get a touchdown, that's not going to be a good week. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, without that touchdown, he would have only had
Yeah.
like 5 points. So
Even that's like one of his good weeks in terms of catches and yards, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
okie dokie. Did you have any other further
Yeah,
analysis?
I don't think Ingram will have a great game this week. I think of all people from that team to do well, I think Shepard would be a better option to have a big game against Dallas, honestly. But I still think that Ingram probably matches up well against Thomas to at least cancel out.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy to see what's going to happen here, in my opinion. I don't see Stafford playing, and if Stafford's not going to play, even if Stafford does play, I don't see the Lions being able to do much. I mean, this goes back to last year when Stafford hurt his hand.
Yep. That's true.
It was terrible. That's like, so I think, Vaughn, you're going to pull the upset and you're going to beat Zach. But I don't know how much of an upset it really actually is. I think seeding-wise it is, but...
Seeding-wise, by
it is.
record, but anything else, I think Vaughn's team is just a little bit better overall without Stafford there. Like, if Stafford was to play and have a great game and Carr had a stinker, then yeah, Zach could win like he did a lot of times in this year. But I don't think that's going to happen this week.
You also have 100 more points than Zach on the season.
I do.
And this, in general, is a scary thing with Vaughn's team possibly making it to Week 15, possibly getting Elliott back soon. He could possibly make some noise in the playoffs.
Possible.
If Elliott if I get to the championship, I'd have Elliott back.
Yeah.
Because he's
He's back week
due
16.
back week, yeah. He's due back for the championship game. But, yeah, I'll say Zach wins, just so I don't look like a total dick. If I win, then I'm happy, and if I lose, then at least I called my loss.
I called your win last week, buddy. Don't worry. I got you again this week. I did say it was going to be close.
Yeah.
2 points is pretty damn close. So it was as close as it was going to get. But all right, moving on. We'll go to your guys' matchup next. Brian versus Ryan.
I was really hoping,
Battle of the Splash Brothers.
Rivers could have thrown another pass or something, got some yards, or... I think I watched your matchup more closely than I watched mine.
I was also.
I mean-
I was sweating bullets there, man. I had 135 on the board, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, am I gonna lose another close one and like somehow mathematically not make the playoffs?
I honestly would rather play Tyler than you, but you gotta roll with the punches of what you got, and
Our games have been close.
Our games have
of
been
our
close.
games.
but I have some weird matchups this week, and it kind of has me worried, in all honesty. This has not been lost on me. You have Jared Goff going up against Philly. Are you worried about? And well, they're home against Philly, so
Honestly, like I don't think either of my quarterbacks has a good matchup. That's why I just have the one who I think has to do more.
yeah.
I think Goff would have a better game than Newton against
Minnesota's defense,
Minnesota.
I think, is tougher to pass against than Philly's, even though they've been so good defensively. Like,
Russell Wilson toward the
especially if Philly was to take a lead, then Goff at least has to throw the ball a lot. You know,
Yeah.
Newton, it's hard for them to just chuck it because their whole offense is based on like that zone running scheme and like the option and stuff like that. So.
Looking on the other side for me, Wilson obviously draws concern, but because he is
Good though, man.
he's playing the number one defense. Like, but I don't know if you look at Jacksonville. I think I said it last week. They haven't played a quarterback like Wilson at
True.
all the entire
Yeah.
year. They played. They've been playing Jacoby Brissett and Tom Savage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it I think will determine on how some of the play calling probably because
Yeah.
Jacksonville's pass rush is so good that if the O-line doesn't play well and they're calling plays that aren't really quick passes and like plays designed to get Wilson out of the pocket, then he might struggle. But I think they'll probably play it pretty well.
I'm confident. Like, I'm gonna say right now, like, I'm playing Russell Wilson. Like, like, I had the doubts in my mind that, like, oh, maybe he's playing one of the tougher defenses this year, but
You gotta roll with him.
he's the number
He's
one.
been so damn good.
I think he's the number one player in fantasy right now.
He's the number one quarterback.
Number
so
one
I'd assume
quarterback.
He's number
Yeah,
one
number
player.
one quarterback is always number one player. For
And
sure. So,
he
Yeah.
is literally, it's December, and it's the Seattle Seahawks, and it's the story every single year. And I was nervous. What was that?
Don't do it.
I'm playing Wilson. He's got
I think you should play Nelson.
yeah. I should probably play Rodgers on my bench too.
Yeah.
Nelson, Rodgers, maybe Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
We put them all in.
I don't get what the hell was up with my players getting suspended, but
Yeah, you got some feisty bunch of receivers.
Wilson, I think I'm expecting less for him this week. So, I mean, maybe 2 touchdowns. I think one of them's going to have to come from rushing, though. He's going to have to sneak a rushing touchdown in.
Yeah.
I-
I mean, they finally gave up a passing touchdown this past week.
Yeah, the TY.
The 2 top corners finally gave up 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
For the first time in the year. So.
But other than that, it's shaky when it comes to quarterback. Who's your star of the week?
I wouldn't start Russell Westbrook.
I wouldn't start Russell Westbrook either. He doesn't play in the NFL.
Russell Wilson.
What about Dede Westbrook?
Dede Westbrook. Don't start him. He sucks too. Start of the week, I don't know.
I might get a triple double if I play Russell Westbrook, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Westbrook.
That's at least 50 fantasy points.
Russell Wilson. Don't start Russell Wilson. Did you hear the stat that they had on ESPN about Jacksonville's defense?
No.
What's his name? What's the kind of weird name? That's
I don't know.
Gates. Something Gates for ESPN. They said Jacksonville has quarterbacks have been in the top 30. They haven't yet to give up 20 points to a quarterback this year.
You know which one? If I know what quarterback's the one that scored the most points against Jacksonville?
Mariota.
Blaine Gabbert.
Mariota. Oh no, Blaine Gabbert. Yeah, just Mariota app before that.
Yep, it was Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Blaine Gabbert can do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Russell Wilson. But that's definitely that's definitely like my hardest question mark this week
It's quarterback.
is quarterback. But I am not going to abandon the player that's brought me here all year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either. I'd roll with him.
I'm going to sneak with
can't
Russell
really-
Wilson.
You don't really
really
have any
play
other
it.
choices
Can
anyways.
really not play the number one quarterback in fantasy.
Yeah. Looking at running back now. Freeman.
got a
You got a
Thursday
Thursday,
night matchup.
yeah.
Yeah, we have some Thursday night running backs going on here.
Yeah, and you got the receiver
Freeman
as well.
versus Kamara?
Yeah.
I mean, Kamara's been the best running back in fantasy, so.
I don't think he's played a primetime game yet either. In all honesty,
I don't think he has
Well,
either.
I don't think the Saints have since earlier in the year, maybe.
I think though, if you count London as his primetime game.
I wouldn't count that.
But I also saw Mark Ingram did not practice today. He's been on the injury report with like a toe injury. So if that might be like my biggest thing. If Mark Ingram doesn't play, then Kamara gets more carries, and hopefully something can happen from that.
I don't think it matters. He's gonna get his 20 to 30 points regardless. He's just been.
I can only hope.
The guy
that.
is averaging 9 yards per touch this year in the NFL in his first season. It's like I'm pretty sure that's the best ever a rookie can have for yards per touch at running back.
He's really good.
Literally insane. Almost every time he touches the ball, they get a first down almost.
I'm totally stealing this joke from someone else, but I know. But we can keep going on and we can talk. But this is I'm gonna pull up what happens when they give the ball to Alvin Kamara. 1 second.
Okay. So Jamal Williams, how about him?
Hey,
I mean, he
he's
played.
really good
He
lately.
played really well last week.
The last 3 weeks, he's putting up like almost 20 points a week for me. Like as long as he's the main focal point, which
Jones only had a couple touches last week.
His only carry actually was the touchdown, I think.
He just had one.
Yeah,
It was just the one
just
touchdown?
the one touchdown in overtime.
I think that-
after Williams had 4 straight touches, he came out tired, and then they
To
scored a
put
touchdown.
Jones in. Jones is going to overtake that starting spot now.
Boy, I hope not, because
I don't think so.
I mean he's been really good. It is a tougher matchup, Cleveland, than someone like Tampa.
I also think I'm sorry, I was looking up what I was gonna play here.
Yeah.
But did you guys bring up Aaron Jones when it comes to
We
Jamal
did.
Williams?
Yes.
Yep.
I think the split's going to be a little bit bigger than what's anticipated. I think, it's going to be Williams.
You think it'll be better than 1 carry now?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it has to. But I think they're going to look at making it like a 60-40. But it's going to be
In the favor of Williams?
in the favor of Williams.
Yeah.
But also, just to get back, this is what happens when they give Alvin Kamara the ball. This is if it's going to play. Come on now. This is literally what it looks like.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Super Mario Star theme.
Yeah, you got the star. He's invincible.
He just goes.
Yeah.
You ever played with Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl, and he just runs back and forth?
Well, yeah. I never played Tecmo Bowl, but I know that's the life hack for that.
The other guys,
How do you feel about Freeman?
I mean, he's in his game back. He played well. He averaged like 6 point something yards per carry. They just didn't give him the ball that much. Honestly, he only had 12 carries.
You think that was because of the way that the game was going, or because they were trying to put him on a snap count, per se?
I think it's more of the Falcons just don't know how to call offense.
They have a drunk doing it.
I honestly think
They've
like
been really bad at
their game planning
plans.
is really bad. They were winning for most of the game against Minnesota, and they still weren't running the ball. Because it's not like what's the backup's name? I'm forgetting it right now. Coleman.
Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, it's not like Coleman didn't even have that many carries either.
No,
So-
he didn't get a whole lot of touches on
So
that.
it's like they were trying to pass the ball a bunch against the defense even when they were winning, when the run was working. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I am
Against New Orleans, I don't think it's a good matchup.
I am strangely optimistic about Kareem Hunt. Like, I think now that Andy Reid gave the play calling away,
His whole playbook is out the window.
and I think that can only be more positive for Kareem Hunt.
Who
for a running
was
back,
play
yeah.
calling last week?
It was the offensive coordinator.
Okay, it was the new guy.
Yeah, it's the new guy.
Yeah, he.
That was pretty pass happy.
Yeah, I think so too, but I think
Smith had like a day. He went off.
I think, it's just game planning wise. It's hard, they figured out how to play Kansas City on defense. It's just as simple as that. Kansas City was doing the same thing for 4 weeks, and then the Steelers came to town and they showed everyone how to stop them on defense.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they just play the second wide receiver one-on-one, and they put a safety over top on Tyreek Hill. And, they just make sure that Kelsey is not getting open.
Yeah, as long they'd ship Kelsey at the line, make sure he doesn't get off on clean routes.
Yeah, and
Play
they,
tough defense against the run, and then just take the safety over the top against Hill.
and like, that's what they were doing, and it kept working. But now I think because there is a different offensive coordinator, it makes it more unpredictable. It makes it different just to see, and we don't have Andy Reid trying to have unnecessary players throwing passes.
Yeah, dude, twice. Those were so bad.
So I think, I'm not saying I expect Kareem Hunt to have the game he had at the beginning of the season, anything like that. I don't think that's happening again. But I can see him putting up maybe 100 yards from scrimmage. You know?
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, he did that against Oakland earlier in the year, too, even when he was in his rough patch.
Yeah.
He had like 87 yards rushing and like 40 receiving. So I think he's still going to have a good game. I'm not as high on him as he was before, obviously, because of the past like 5 weeks he's had.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like, without catches, it's like 5 points per game in standard leagues, probably like 8 points per game in ours. So he hasn't been doing a whole lot, but he's still a main guy going against a bad defense.
It's so weird to see a player be good for like 7 straight weeks and then like
Just dip.
dips
Well,
so hard.
the whole team just dipped, really.
Yeah, really did. I mean,
Yeah.
we're 6-1, and
They were 6-1, and now they're 6-6, right?
Yeah, it's
Something
a
like that?
it's like a
7-6.
plague in the NFL to start off
6-6.
5-0. If you start off 5-0 in the NFL, like
You don't make the playoffs.
yeah,
That's the statistic. That if you start like the last 2 seasons or whatever, there's been a 5-0 team, and that team has not made the playoffs. Last year, I think it was Minnesota.
yeah, it's Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's just because it's easier for. I just think like you figure out like they have one thing going for them, and then they figure out how to stop it, and the next thing you know, it's
If anything, you would want to start slow and then get hot, kind of like
Yeah.
what the Chargers have been doing.
Saints.
And and the Saints, they started 0-2, and they've only lost 1 game since.
I'm still sticking with that. I think they're going to win the playoffs still.
they're gonna go to the
Who's
Super
that?
Bowl.
The Saints?
No, the Chiefs. I still
You
think
think the
are gonna
Chiefs
make
still get
playoffs. I think they're the
playoffs?
one.
The Saints are gonna make it to the Super Bowl.
That could happen. I mean, I wouldn't be
I think
surprised. I don't
the
think
Chiefs game
do.
is going to come down head to head against Rivers and San Diego or LA now.
LA.
But
I'm going to call
and-
it San Diego forever.
they get to play them at home, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs still in there.
All right. Well, we'll move on to wide receivers. Like we said earlier, you picked up Jermaine Kearse. You still got Hopkins against San Francisco, and then Mr. Crowder, like the only wide receiver left for Washington. How you feeling about your receivers?
I think actually I have some pretty good matchups this week.
Yeah, I agree.
Kearse has been performing well lately.
He's got Denver shit D.
Denver's been really bad defensively lately.
Yeah.
Especially against the second receiver. Which I think they'll treat Kearse as the second receiver and Robbie Anderson as the number 1.
Yeah.
So maybe that benefits me. Hopkins, I think, still is a great matchup, obviously. Hopefully they don't get up too much because then they might not want Savage throwing the ball. Because why would you ever want him throwing the ball? And Crowder, he's been pretty good lately. A lot of catches. He had the fumbles, which was a really bad start last week. But he's still been getting targeted a lot. And he made up for that in the game and still ended up with like 12 fantasy points. So.
On the other side, Crabtree, like we were talking about earlier.
I think Crabtree isn't. I think he's gonna have a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I honestly think he's going. Cooper's not gonna be in there. Peters is not gonna play.
Yep.
Kansas City's been terrible. I almost kind of need Crabtree to have a good game. I feel like even coming back from the suspension, which I don't even think Crabtree should have gotten in the first place.
Yeah, he was kind of just there by association.
Yeah. I think Crabtree is set up to have a pretty good game. I think when it comes to Julio, though, it depends on if the rookie cornerback, Marcus Lattimore, is going to play, which I think he is because they held him out, even though I think he could have played.
Yeah, I think he'll play.
I think it's leaning towards that, but I'm not.
I hope he doesn't play.
Still don't know.
Yeah, obviously you don't
Well,
want him to
he's
play.
already a really good NFL cornerback.
Yeah,
he's really good.
Yeah, I also think that Julio can have a game though. Like, I think the chances of him having it without Marcus Lattimore is good, but I think with Marcus Lattimore being there, I think it's still possible. I mean, I can just see Julio having a good game. It's just, I don't know. It's just that feeling I get. I'm watching
Yeah.
him. He didn't have a good game last week. I think he's going to come out, and it's prime time.
See, the thing is, I don't think of Julio as a primetime receiver.
Yeah.
Like, on his crazy big games,
Yeah,
normally
and
they're
usually,
like the 1 o'clock
dinkers.
Yeah,
like that
against,
300
against
yard.
weird teams
Yeah,
that like are struggling a bit and are like
Yeah,
around 500.
he's
he'll
not
just
like
break
Antonio
out.
Brown where
Yeah,
he just
that-
goes all out on
That's what I was
primetime
thinking.
games.
But
Like,
even with that, I still think Julio will. He still does well in primetime. It's just not. He
Yeah.
doesn't have those crazy games that Julio sometimes has. It's normally in like the weird 1 o'clock
Well,
games.
to
where
say
they're
the
airing
last primetime game I remember Julio playing was the one against New England when he had like 6 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown.
didn't he also drop a touchdown? Was that same game?
I'm not sure.
Was
I
that?
don't-
Are you talking about the one?
when
the
he,
rematch this year?
yeah, the rematch.
I think
of that.
was that the same game where he dropped that touchdown, like in the end zone, like he was
Honestly,
wide open.
I didn't watch much of that game.
I saw him rip it.
I'm pretty sure that was the one where he dropped a touchdown wide open in the end zone.
Well, regardless, I'm pretty
'Cause
sure.
I was playing against
Yeah.
Julio. I don't think you had him. At
I
the
had
time.
Julio at that time because I
you?
beat
Maybe I was
John
playing you
because
then.
of it. Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe
That was the week I
wasn't-
did the trade.
Maybe that wasn't the same game, but that was a prime time game.
And then
Yeah, that's true.
And then so I think Julio can have a good game. I don't know if 18 is what I would expect from him, but I definitely see
Mhm.
double digits as being a good option. Doug
I can see
Baldwin.
18 being realistic.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
Maybe. I mean, their offense didn't look very good last week, but
18's not-
Minnesota's a good defense.
18's not that great for a number one receiver like Julio.
Yeah.
That's just a pretty good game. I would think.
I would take it.
Oh yeah, for sure you take it,
Yeah.
but like it's not the 40 points that he could put up against me like last
Well,
time. Or
absolutely.
52 or whatever. but
I
yeah.
hope he
Yeah.
does that again.
Like for the I don't know.
You
The
saying about Baldwin?
Baldwin is worrisome, but I feel like I don't know, because of I just feel like the game against Jacksonville is going to either go, Russell Wilson can't scramble as much as he can, but if he can scramble, then Jacksonville is just going to have a terrible time. And Doug Baldwin, I feel, is like the one player on Seattle is like, oh, Russell Wilson scrambling, like I know exactly what to do to get open, and it works every single time for him for some reason. So I think, I have very low expectations, but I think he can maybe put up a somewhat average game, a good game. I'm hoping for maybe like 12 points.
Yeah.
But other
That's a realistic expectation.
than that, it's not really looking that great. Tight end wise,
Who the hell is this tight end you have?
Steven Anderson.
He's the number one tight end there now.
Now that
after
CJ
the 2 concussions to their
Yeah.
tight ends before.
I actually have 3 tight ends on my roster right now.
That's new for you.
I know.
Yeah, actually, I saw earlier today you had Burton in the lineup. When I
Yeah.
looked.
I've moved Anderson. I'm feeling Anderson more mostly because there's not much information on Ertz. But I think if Ertz doesn't play, then Trey Burton might be my start, just because of how Philadelphia uses the offense and they rely on the tight end.
Yeah, I mean, and last time Ertz didn't play, he got a touchdown.
Yeah.
I remember that because my dad, I was like, yeah, you should pick up Trey Burton. He was like, really? I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. I was like, hey, Dad, Trey Burton scored. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's going to be what it is. It's Ricky Seals-Jones also has upside because I watched some of the game and blink averages overthrew him on like a 30-yard touchdown. It was so close. But
Yeah, he seems like a pretty good player.
yeah,
Just in a kind of a poor situation.
and it's like he doesn't get the field like at all. Like they play Jermaine Gresham more. Like
Yeah.
so that's why Steven Anderson's in my lineup right now. Just because Bruce Ellington's injured, for like CJ's injured, Braxton Miller's injured, Bo Fuller's injured.
The whole squad's just hurt.
The only other person catching the ball is DeAndre Hopkins. So like last game when he came in,
Yeah, he did well. He got a touchdown, I think.
5 catches for
77 yards.
5 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown.
That's really good.
So that's why I'm just considering him at this moment, but I do not see him replicate anything that Kelsey can do. Because I think Kelsey's going to have a pretty good game.
I certainly hope so.
Probably.
And most of my weeks that I win, I need him to have like a crazy game. to
He
kinda
has a
keep
bad
up.
game.
So if he does have a bad game, most of the time I don't have a chance.
I hope he has a bad game.
Final point here, flex. We got 2 Minnesota players. You got McKinnon.
Yeah.
Ryan's got
Neither
Diggs.
of them really have good matchups, do they?
Neither.
I would say no.
I
I mean, I'm still looking at other guys possibly going in if they're not hurt, kind of thing. Like
I might
with
go
Cooper
tight
and
end.
Hogan.
I might
You go with the 2 tight ends.
I might trade Burn and Anderson it.
I'm considering even going with like a Jai because the matchup's so bad for McKinnon. I don't know.
It's tough. We had some tough matchups this week, man. Diggs is in there mostly
Weird
because it's
matchup.
hard to deny what Diggs can do.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, like
He's a good receiver. He's just
Case Keenum is just
Yeah,
racist
he
and throws it to
he
white
loves
people.
Thielen, yeah.
He throws it to.
I still think Thielen's the better receiver though. That's
It-
though.
All right, but you're not gonna deny the fact that Case Keenum may or may not be racist. He throws it to Kyle Rudolph and he throws it to Adam Thielen.
Yeah, dude. Case Keenum's probably racist.
All right,
I mean, he throws it to McKinnon every once in a while.
Yeah.
nah.
Did you see that dance though? McKinnon's white.
Yeah.
You did the dirty bird. All right. Who wins? Brian.
It's so hard for me to say I'm gonna win this week because I can
You
totally
did it the last
see.
2 times when you faced me.
Yeah.
I know. I can totally see, but like those are, because I was realistic and like I could see like my players putting up the performance necessary for me to win. Obviously, last time I didn't expect Julio or Kamara to do what they did, but I almost feel like I'm gonna lose this game.
Wow.
That's different.
I know, and it scares me because my matchups are just absolutely terrible. Really, my week might be determined on Thursday night.
Well,
Again?
I mean, I am a player also, so yeah, the whole week could be determined on that.
I have
Like if my guy does good and yours who didn't
yeah.
do really good, but your guys are so good, why wouldn't they do?
I have 2 of my top players playing on Thursday night.
Yeah.
If they
It's
can,
like the last time
Hey,
against
you never
Ross.
know. I could be down 96-0 after Thursday night. That's what would have happened the last time I faced you. Those 2 players. I don't know. I think if I can keep it close in a week where those 2 guys almost score 100, then I think I can keep it close regardless.
yeah,
I think it'll be a good game. I don't know if I'll have enough to pull it out. I think a lot of it will depend on guys like Crabtree and Hunt, like how good they play. Because obviously your top guys will perform, and if Seattle does struggle, like a lot of people are predicting, possibly could, then it's up to Crabtree and Hunt to kind of carry the rest of that weight, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Brian ends up winning. I think it will be pretty close just because there's a lot of uncertainty in the matchups. But I think Brian squeaks it out.
I think if this is probably my toughest week in the playoffs, though. If I'm gonna be quite honest. I think
It's a tough matchup.
I-
It's a tough matchup.
I think after this, I'm saying all right because then Wilson plays LA. So I think these are the Rams. He plays the Rams. And
Yeah,
then
that is the Rams.
And then he plays Dallas. And I think both of them are exploitable for Wilson.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I agree.
it's,
All right.
it's definitely gonna be interesting.
Yeah, no, it for sure. I think that's probably the most interesting matchup in the playoffs this week.
Wish I was playing a 5 and 8
next,
team.
next matchup here will be.
Not that far off.
Yeah. Next matchup we'll go with is Heather against Luke. So making roster moves versus making roster moves.
Change your team back. It's
These
super
team names
annoying.
are so stupid. They're so stupid. When we were going through trying to see why tiebreakers were a thing and what happened during the regular season, it was so annoying to deal with. Like,
Yeah, fuck you guys. Andy Dalton against Chicago.
don't like it.
I just don't like Andy Dalton.
He had a decent game against the Steelers.
Yeah, but like that was just a stupid game. That was just one of those AFC North primetime clashes. And those are like a special circumstance. I don't know. Chicago's defense is, well, the defensive line at least is probably better than the Steelers. I don't know. Tom Brady on the other side, he's going to put up points. We all know that. I feel like we could just
on
skip
Monday
Tom
night.
Brady for like the rest
Yeah.
of eternity because he's going to put up at least 20.
Honestly, Heather has some pretty good matchups.
I mean,
There are some really,
I mean,
really good matchups. Lamar against San Fran. Le'Veon Bell against anybody, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But he's playing Baltimore.
But we could look at Luke's team. I mean,
Yeah.
did you guys?
No, we'll look at Luke's team.
Murray's been pretty good as of recently, except for the one game against last week, so he didn't score, but
But he got like 70 yards or something, right?
I mean, still.
He's been doing a good serviceable job of running the ball for them, which I didn't think he was going to do.
Yeah, me neither.
Maybe if they get it within the 10-yard line, Murray can squeak a touchdown in, but that's as much as I see for him.
Yeah.
I don't see that game being very high scoring though.
It's going to be like
Minnesota and Carolina.
it's going to be like Minnesota and the Falcons last week,
Probably.
and Minnesota and the
Yeah, I
Rams the
don't-
week
I don't
before.
And it's at
I
Carolina.
think if it would be high scoring, then it would be leaning more towards Minnesota, but I don't think that.
You think so?
I think if it came down to a team blowing out the other, I think Minnesota would have a better chance of blowing out Carolina than Carolina would have blowing out Minnesota.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting. Carlos Hyde against Houston. They're
Mm,
projecting a lot of points for Carlos Hyde this week.
Jimmy is kind of opened up the offense a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't look bad, right?
I called that upset. I called San Fran beating them.
San Fran always
when we were
beats
out to
Chicago.
dinner the one night when we were doing the spreads, I said San Fran.
Kind of classic how Robbie Gould kind of had that game winner against his old team. It kind of made me
He, like,
feel. It made me feel
single-handedly-
good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He should have flipped off with
Yeah.
John Fox at the same time. Kicks it, turns around.
Yeah, give him the bird. Yeah, I don't know about Hyde this week.
Overall, like, there's potential,
Yeah,
but
it's there.
I feel like
15 points. I don't think so.
the ceiling for Luke's running backs is Heather's floor.
Yeah.
You know,
For the most part.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. Just because of the matchups. Like I'm not a huge Lamar Miller guy, but San Fran
Yeah.
sucks. At least against defending the rush.
yeah.
Except for Jordan Howard last week for whatever stupid reason. But Le'Veon's just been a monster.
Looking at wide receivers, Sanders.
Sanders and Goodwin, I think, are okay.
I think Goodwin's
They're decent.
going to have a pretty good game. I think he's going to be pretty
Goodwin's got-
consistent.
yeah, no, I agree. With Jimmy G at quarterback, I could see
Yeah,
him.
I mean, what was last
Huh.
week? He had 8 catches for 100 yards, right?
Did he really?
Yeah.
8
Yeah.
catches for 99.
99.
So basically 100.
So close.
So 1 yard
One
away.
off.
1 yard.
Um,
So I could certainly see that again. Houston's defense hasn't been anything fantastic this year, so who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett, I don't see a huge game from him, but if he gets those long chunk plays that he typically gets, he could get some nice point compilation.
I mean, T.Y. scored on a long touchdown last week.
Exactly.
Maybe
That's exactly
it might add up to Tyler getting something, but
yeah,
it's not.
If it's gonna be anyone, is it really gonna be Tyler Lockett?
He's the
like-
speedster. That's why I say
Of
that.
all people, he's 4th on my list of who would catch.
I think
that
Amari
kind of
Darboh
touchdown.
would
Amari Darboh
would score before.
Do you think so? So 5th on the list.
I wouldn't say 4th. I'd say at least 3.
I'd say Graham would be better option to score a touchdown. Baldwin would be better.
Well, no, I'm
and
saying on
Paul
the
Richardson
long
would be
chunk
better.
plays. Jimmy Graham. Well, I guess G is mainly really used in the red zone.
Yeah,
Like within the 10-yard line and higher is when they really use them.
I just think Jacksonville doesn't give up a lot of chunk plays. So.
They don't, but
The one,
But they did last week.
one was to an absolute burner.
Yeah.
it was like a Tyreek Hill type player.
Yeah, it was.
Lockett's not that good.
no, receiving wise, no, but speed, I would say it's pretty close. But anyways, on the other side, Devontae Adams against Cleveland, probably a pretty good matchup there.
I mean, Devontae Adams has stepped up to be the number 1 receiver for Green Bay, so
Jordy's just completely phased out of that offense now.
essentially, yeah.
Completely.
But
It's all about Devontae.
if Rodgers does come back next week,
Well, then obviously
Jordy will be in the
Well,
lineup.
because he's
That's a big
made
if
better
though,
than that.
because I mean he hasn't even really started practicing. He's been thrown,
Yeah.
but not practicing.
if they win.
he's got a few
if
hurdles
they
to
win
go.
this week, I think he might. Honestly,
Do you think they beat Cleveland? Do you think Cleveland's first win is against Green Bay?
I hope
I
so.
don't think so.
I hope so too. That would be so funny.
I honestly think that Green Bay is going to win, and then Aaron Rodgers is going to come back, and he might actually squeak them into the playoffs.
Well, it depends what the rest of their schedule
It
is.
does happen every year.
The rest of their schedule is at Carolina. They gotta play Minnesota again, and they'll beat Detroit. It doesn't matter if he's playing or not.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the playoff hunt, so
They have a chance.
Yeah.
they do have a chance. You're right.
Ultimately, looking at the fantasy matchup, Heather's receivers are better.
Yes.
Heather's quarterback is better.
Heather's
running backs
back's
are
better.
Heather's receivers are better.
I think we're seeing a trend here. I
Yeah.
think Heather's team is better.
I mean, Luke's one amazing player is out for suspension.
That was
That
so-
absolute filthy hit.
That-
they
that
had,
was
That
horrendous.
was disgusting.
He should be suspended for more than one game.
However long
It
it
should be
takes
at
White
least 3
to come
months.
back, that's how long. he
If
should be out.
if someone would have hit Tom Brady like that, how long do you think he would have been suspended?
they would have been expelled from the league. They would have
Kicked out from the game.
They would have executed him out back.
If that cornerback or safety or whatever he is never played again, Gronk should never be able to play again.
Wow.
He should be out as long as that guy is,
Laying down the hammer.
because that was disgusting.
It was bad. When I first saw that, I was like, wow. Because the first time I saw it was when they were like showing the replay when they said Gronk got suspended for it. And I was like, one game? That's it? One game? And they give 6 games to Zeke for nothing?
I told you, it's a roulette rule. They just smoothly spin it.
Well,
Basically.
not lately. Anything you do now is 1 game suspension, pretty much.
And if they wanted you to be
Juju got suspended.
and if they want you to be suspended, they'll actually just suspend you 2 games, and then if you appeal it, it's
Yeah.
down to 1.
Mm-hmm. Well, even like they
Yeah.
didn't.
Juju, yeah.
Juju appealed and he didn't get it reduced at all, or.
I think
taken
that
away.
suspension was stupid.
You think so?
Like I don't think he should have gotten suspended.
I don't
It was a
think
legal
so.
hit.
I don't.
It was
It wasn't a legal hit.
What are you
He
talking
got
about?
right under the jaw. Did you see it actually? Like
I thought
when
it was
they slowed it
right
down
under the chest.
from the angle that people were showing, like on a picture from far away on Twitter, it looked like it was on the chest. But when they slowed it down and looked at it from like facing both players, from like the quarterback's view, the guy got him right underneath the jaw.
Oh. That sucks.
I don't know.
I think it was a penalty, and I think the taunting was ridiculous, and it should have just been left at that. I don't think he should be suspended for it. He definitely should have got fined, though.
Yeah, I would have thrown out a fine. I wouldn't have suspended him over it though.
So,
But
who's going to win this matchup?
and
does the name start with H?
Do we even really need to say it? It rhymes with leather.
Well, I'm
Feather.
100%
Yes.
sure that it's going to be making roster moves.
But
I'm
making
also
roster moves is
100%
gonna
sure
lose.
that it's going to be Heather.
Yeah, I'm predicting Heather is going to walk away with this victory.
It should be a pretty big ass whooping. Honestly.
I think it's a travesty that Luke got in instead of Autumn.
It's just that crazy tiebreaker rule, man.
I mean, it's because Luke just beat all the other.
All the other bad teams somehow found a way to beat them.
It's such a stupid tiebreaker. All right. Anyways, we'll go to our last matchup here, which is the actual making roster moves, the number 1 seed against John.
Which I think is going to be a juicy matchup.
Honestly, I think this might be one of the best matchup of the week.
Really?
Ours is a good one, but this one is really intriguing to me. John's team has been really good lately.
It's all because of Keenan Allen. He's been destroying everybody.
Is that going to slow down? Like, he's
No.
facing Washington.
No.
That's not going to slow down.
No, it won't slow down.
I think John has a lot of juicy matchups. I love the pickup of Jimmy Garoppolo going.
I do too. I think
Houston's
it's a good pickup. I think
Shady against Indy.
McCoy
That's a
against
great
Indy.
matchup.
Deion Lewis against Miami. I mean, he's got good matchup after good matchup. Dez against New York. I mean, Larry's been consistent all season. Like I said,
and Larry's at home.
And Larry's at home. Keenan Allen, like we just said.
It'd be interesting to see if he rolls with the same option at flex with Burkhead, or possibly with Josh Gordon's on his bench too, which he got like what, 13 targets last week. Like, it's insane. They threw it to him so
They
much.
had an offensive game plan literally built around Josh Gordon.
All right,
I mean, they
here's
were a little
a
off.
statistic.
I know,
The
but
quarterback Hayward, I think his name is,
yeah.
the entire season, he's only let up 85 yards to 2 receivers. The first one was Odell Beckham. The second one was Josh Gordon.
Ooh, Josh Gordon.
So,
Hmm.
so all year, these players that have been in the NFL couldn't put up 85 yards, but Josh Gordon, who's been out of the league for 3 years,
Did.
did.
Yeah.
And it's not like
And he didn't even
Green
have
Bay's-
that great of a game either. Like, he was just targeted a bunch.
That one catch when he was like falling backwards,
yeah,
that
he-
was pretty
I mean,
sick.
it was a nice catch,
Yeah, it
but
was.
in general, like, him and Kaiser were just a little off the whole game. It seemed like that if they weren't off like that, he would have had a huge game.
That's why I would be wary of playing Green Bay's defense. I wouldn't want anybody that's going to. I think Josh Gordon's going to have a good game personally, but I'm also buying into the hype pretty hard.
All right, yeah, enough choosing about Josh Gordon. Let's get to the actual matchup.
Yeah, so we'll stop splooging
Yeah.
about John's team real quick, and we'll go to Ross's. We got Ben Roethlisberger.
Who did not play that great.
No, and,
Yeah, he started up with 2 touchdowns and 300 yards.
Now that Jimmy Smith's not playing, also.
it's true. He tore his Achilles, didn't he?
Yeah,
Something like that.
which is also weird because now he can like serve his suspension. He's like
Was he suspended?
he was
he was
like
suspended for taking PEDs after his injury. I think is what it was, right?
I thought he was previously like I thought he was like essentially the same thing as Ezekiel Elliott, where like he was getting suspended, but like he was appealing
Yeah,
it,
he probably was. Yeah.
and then
Oh, I
now
thought he was suspended
now
after
he got injured, so he's like, well, shoot, I'll just serve my suspension in. I didn't know you could do that, like, but I guess it's fine.
Well, regardless, without
Um,
Jimmy Smith, you would imagine that Ben would have a better matchup with Baltimore.
but
But Baltimore
but-
always plays them tough.
it's like the Bengals.
Yep.
It's like the Bengals Steelers games. Those are always ugly.
Those AFC North rivalry games are just well, except for Cleveland against anybody.
Yeah.
They're always so like vicious. Every
They
single
are.
all those 3 teams when they play each other, except for when Cleveland plays someone, like they don't matter.
Right.
I could totally see the Ravens coming out and playing the Steelers pretty hard. Like, they're going to come out and want to play, and they're going to get in Roethlisberger's face, and if Jimmy
it's a-
Smith was in there, it would be a different story, but
well, yeah.
So would you play Roethlisberger over Prescott then, or would you play Prescott?
I would play Roethlisberger because
I
I don't think
personally would-
Prescott's going to have that much.
Yeah, I would play Roethlisberger just because
He doesn't do anything without Zeke.
he does nothing without Zeke. It's another primetime game, which means Antonio is going to go off, which means Ben has to get at least
That's-
some good yardage out
That's
of that.
kind of what carried him in the past week. Like he's got such good players in terms of Bell and Brown around him that
Yeah.
he doesn't have to do a whole lot for him to have decent stats.
And it sucks that
He still didn't have great stats, but
no, it sucks that Juju's out, but and Martavis actually hasn't been too bad.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like he's been
He
been
came
alright.
back and gained Roethlisberger's trust, and
Yeah.
like the 1 game suspension definitely served its purpose.
yeah.
It sure did.
Running backs we're looking at running backs now. We already kind of
We got two studs on Ross's team. Obviously, you got Gordon and Fournette, both number 1 running backs, pretty much on most teams, fantasy wise.
Gordon hasn't really done touchdown wise what he was doing early in the season lately.
Yeah, he's dipped a little.
But he's
bit.
been putting up yardage. Fournette, essentially the same exact thing, except he got the touchdown last week.
He did.
And I mean, Fournette even tweeted it. I mean, it's true. Like, he's going up against an 11-man box every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Blake Bortles
Sucks.
sucks. So I don't know if Seattle will be able to actually do much against that. But
I think the best part of Seattle's defense is their running defense now because
Yeah.
of the injuries. So
I mean, I don't remember Philadelphia doing much.
they didn't run the ball that well. No.
So if we're looking at running back matchups, I almost feel inclined to say that they're almost even, maybe even a little skewed, because I think Deion Lewis is going to have a pretty good game.
I was gonna say I think John's running backs in this matchup
Yeah.
are better just because of their
I think
team
I think the matchups are better for John's running backs, but I don't think that means they'll put out more points than Ross's running backs.
Yeah.
That's just the way
Yeah,
I see
I
it.
wouldn't necessarily disagree with that either. It'll be close regardless.
Looking at receivers now.
Receivers, yeah. So we got AJ, Michael Thomas, and Cup for Ross.
AJ had a great game, even though he didn't get a catch in the second half.
Because he dropped like 3 of them.
I think he's going to have a good
Plus
game.
that
against Chicago.
touchdown that was called back on the,
Yeah.
It wasn't really a hold, was it, on Gio?
Not really.
It was a weak call.
It was a weak call.
He would have had to make a points if that's the.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas has been pretty good.
How did he do last week?
He got a touchdown.
He's still doing pretty good. Yeah, he did.
Still doing good.
Honestly,
Really consistent.
He broke that no touchdown streak that we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
So he had 18 points. So that's pretty good.
He's been one of the most consistent fantasy receivers this year.
Yeah.
I'd say.
You could argue that. Think it continues Thursday though.
Atlanta. I mean, I think it continues. I think he'll still. I don't
Just
know if
with the
he'll score.
catches?
I think just with the catches and the yardage, he'll have a decent game, at least double digits.
Yeah.
Like probably like 10 to 15.
He's pretty much been like Landry this year.
Yeah.
Where like he's not the most reliable touchdowns, but he'll
Just
get,
with a more consistent quarterback.
yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Cooper Kupp has
Kupp.
kind of stepped up now that Robert Woods has been out.
Yeah.
So three really good wide receivers, but on the opposite side, Keenan Allen has just been a monster.
He's been putting up like points for two receivers
Yeah,
the last
and,
few weeks. Like
26, 35, 40. That's his last 3 weeks.
and Philip Rivers knows that Keenan Allen is in a good streak right now.
and Rivers is doing really well right now too.
Yeah.
Like
Rivers
in
has
terms
been
of yardage,
playing great.
he's putting up like over 300 like nothing right now.
Yeah.
Like every week.
So I would expect Keenan Allen to have a good game. I think the Cardinals are honestly going to beat Tennessee.
Really.
So I think Fitzgerald's going to have a good game.
I could do that.
And then Dez against the Giants. You see anything good coming out of that? Just because of how bad the Giants have been, not because of how good Dez or Dak are, because they really haven't been that good this year.
I think Dez is touchdown dependent this week.
I honestly would consider sitting Dez because
Really?
I do not think he's going to have a good game. I truly believe when a team's coach gets fired, there's a change in scenery, that the next game they come out playing harder. They might
with a fire.
yeah.
Really.
And I think that's going to be happening with the Giants, and I think the Giants are going to beat the Cowboys in all honesty.
Wow.
Now that I'm saying it, so maybe Josh Gordon over Dez. That might be a bold
And he's got
claim.
a couple options. Josh Gordon's one of them.
Maybe that'd be a bold claim, but I don't see Dez doing a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I just see Des Bryant as a touchdown or bust play this week.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get scored, then it's going to be a pretty poor week.
All right. Tight ends and flex.
I mean, honestly, John has the better tight end since Ertz.
Well, yeah, with
It
Ertz being
really
concussion
depends on if
protocol.
Ertz is able to make it back and get a couple of games or a couple days of practice.
I don't think he plays.
Well, Ertz in practice today, so it's not looking good.
I don't think he plays because he's had a concussion already this season.
Has he?
Yeah. That's when Trey Burton played over him that one
That's
game.
the first time.
And I think Ertz might have a history of concussions.
I think he's only had one other one.
Maybe going to last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So I think that's...
But the one other one that he had, he missed one game.
Yeah.
So
And there's
I would
not...
imagine he doesn't play.
I think Philadelphia realistically could maybe even get it done without Ertz. So I don't see them wanting to play
I
him.
don't know. There's this big thing right now about our Philly just good against bad teams.
Yeah.
Are they for real? I mean, they've only got one win against a team with a winning record, and that's Carolina.
Oh, I mean, I
Something
guess
to
it
think
was
about.
Kansas City for a while, but wait, no,
Sure.
they lost against Kansas City.
Yeah,
didn't
they lost to Kansas City, and
Yeah, that was the one loss.
But I do not expect Ertz to play. I think Ertz sits, and at that point Ross is probably pissed off. I think Ross is pissed off at me because I picked up all the tight ends.
does he have another one?
He does not.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a pickle.
Definitely is.
That would be tough.
I just kind of need a tight end this week.
Maybe he'll roll with Eric Ebron. Pick him up.
Yeah, he's available. Surprisingly. Let's see what tight ends are out there, real quick.
I dropped Greg Olsen.
While we're looking at that, what do you guys think of Hunter Henry's matchup? Huh?
Who's he playing?
I think he stays in the
Washington.
Flames.
I
Washington.
think he still does well because of how well Rivers is playing now.
The team by itself is playing inspired.
Isn't he kind of touchdown dependent too, though?
I mean, last week.
Well,
he
last
wasn't.
week, yeah, he
But
played pretty
the
well
weeks
last
before
week. but
that-
yeah.
I don't know. It seems like
Maybe he
he's getting
keeps
more
it up.
involved into the offense and Rivers is passing a lot more,
Mhm.
so it might be a decent play.
All right, here's some tight ends that are available. Guy that he had earlier in the year, he had Vernon Davis. Couldn't pick him back up. Is Charles Clay supposed to play?
I don't think Charles Clay is supposed to play, but I don't think Tyrod Taylor is supposed to play.
All right. I tried to go to top points and went to bottom. Anyways, Eric Ebron, he's out there. Everyone wants him.
A whole lot of options. isn't
Ben
there?
Watson, David Njoku, Greg Olsen, like you said. It's pretty slim pickings for tight end.
Yeah,
I think Njoku might be an okay play this
possibly.
week. See him getting a touchdown against Green Bay.
It could happen. But flex, we got McCaffrey versus Burkhead.
And I think that Burkhead's going to have another good game. I think he's going to have 3 straight. I think with Gronkowski not playing, and I know Hogan practiced today, but if Hogan doesn't play, then they were going to need Burkhead to step up, and just like how Amendola's probably going to have to step up.
Yeah.
I think Burkhead is going to have a good game. And honestly, I think he's going to have another, he's going to probably have another touchdown. He's going to rush for maybe like 50 yards. He's going to get a couple catches.
I don't know. I think it'll be okay. I don't think he's going to be
I see
as
him.
good as last time. Honestly, I would play Josh Gordon ahead of him.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's where we differ because I would rather play Josh Gordon over Des Bryant.
I would also
And
rather
I-
play Josh Gordon over this.
And I would keep Rex Burkhead in my flex.
I still think, I don't know. That's tough. The difference between Dez and Burkhead is tough, I think. They're close.
And personally, I like having to watch a player on Monday Night Football
It is fun, right? Especially
Just
if
to
you're
have that-
losing to give you hope.
just to give me that hope. Like, I'd rather go into Sunday night going, well, at least I still have one more person
Like,
going.
my
yeah,
matchup with Tyler was so weird. We were both done with our players at 4, like after the 4 o'clock games.
And you're like, oh.
And I was like, I was watching at 7 o'clock on Sunday, like the end of those games, and like, oh my god, this is basically like Monday night for me right now. Like, it was done. It was crazy.
That's why I'm sad that you have a Monday night player and I don't. You had the New
Yeah,
England
the
defense.
defense, yeah.
And well, there's no
And
point in
possibly Hogan, but
Uh,
it's hard for me to put him in my lineup if he doesn't,
Yeah.
because he's probably going to be questionable and maybe not play. So we'll
That's.
see.
I mean, I'm not gonna have anybody on Monday. It's kind of
Yeah.
gonna suck for me watching.
The defenses aren't as easy to have a crazy game. So if you have a defense,
Honestly, I feel like our defenses score too much points.
you think so?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Jaguars' defense this year has been insane in terms of points. You've noticed that?
Yeah.
Do you think they have a big game again for John this week?
I mean,
What's up going on?
I think Russell Wilson. I am inspired to believe that Russell Wilson does something good.
What do you guys? What do you think of Ross going with the defense that's facing his quarterback?
Old strategy.
I mean, you can only pick and choose both ways, right? Like,
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, I think that might hurt him a little bit. Just because
Which one do you think would have a better? Like, would you be more confident in keeping it?
I would be more confident in playing Big Ben.
So you're saying
I would
think
pick up
that
another
he should
defense.
pick up a defense?
Well, yeah, I mean there are defenses out there that will probably do just as good, if not better, than the Ravens.
True.
At Pittsburgh on
They have
Sunday
been
night.
good throughout the season, though. So maybe he was just like.
But have they
thinking-
played anyone?
But that's the point, though. Like
Yeah.
for the games that they don't play anyone, they typically have like defensive touchdown or something. That makes
Do you
them
count the
really over
Steelers
top.
as a team where it matters that they play them? Because I almost want to say no. Like, I feel like the Steelers are like an average team that just over succeed because of Bell and Brown.
Yeah.
No, that's
I would
fair
say
to
that.
say.
Yeah, I don't think they're that great. I think
Well, I don't think so. I
Well,
definitely don't think they're 10-2 worthy.
yeah.
No,
I think they've
had
gotten a lot of lucky wins.
Yeah, I was gonna say they've had some fortune come their way with some of their games.
Mhm.
Jim Caldwell being one of them. But yeah, I guess who wins?
Who wins this matchup?
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Brian.
Woo! So I'm gonna say John.
I'm gonna say John too. I think John pulls the big upset
and
knocks
we
Ross
watch
out.
and we watch Ross cry at the draft next year.
Yep. He gave up all of those assets
I'm gonna go with
for
Ross.
nothing.
I'm gonna go with Ross.
That's
I
probably a good
honestly
pick.
think that John has like a great team and really good matchups, but I don't know. Ross has just got stars all over his team. That if they have good games, that John won't even be able to come close.
I think the matchups just play a little bit more in John's
He does
I
have
think so,
definitely
too.
better matchups.
All right. Well, that's it. Congrats on making the playoffs. The players that we mentioned, the players that we didn't mention.
At least
Have
you got
fun.
a top
At
pick
least
next
you
year.
got a top 4 pick. That's always nice.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck with that. I assume that we'll probably be going over this draft order proposal and the keeper pick proposal more because it's been a huge topic on the Facebook page today.
And come up with ideas if you to the people that actually watch this.
I'm glad. Because three people just straight said, I haven't seen the podcast yet. I got to watch the podcast and see their proposal. So, John, thank you for giving your advice and all that. That was nice. But yeah, we would love different suggestions and things like that because we're just 3 dumbed down river kids that we can't. We're not the commissioner of the league. We just
Maybe we should be.
maybe, but
I already was.
You're right. Maybe we should be.
yeah. Co-commissioners, bro.
No.
Co-commissioner.
No, Ross is doing good. We're
Yeah.
just letting us know if you guys got any ideas.
Yep.
Put it in the Facebook group because
That's only going to make the league better for everyone.
Yeah.
You can't sit around and complain about the rules that are in place if you're not trying to also give your opinion on how to make things better.
exactly. Yep. So I think that's it. Well, I'm assuming that we'll probably do another podcast next week.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do another preview podcast, and I'm sure that there'll be more talk about the rules and stuff. So until then, see you later.
Good luck, everybody, except for Ryan.